Hey BookTube, this is Friday Reads.
I got my ticket for the long way round.
My name's Jen and I listen to audiobooks. And this being Friday, I thought I'd tell you about all the audiobooks that I listened to last week and also the one that I'm listening to this weekend. So I'll start off with The Bitter Kingdom. This is by Ray Carson and it is book 3 in the Girl of Fire and Thorns trilogy. It's narrated on audio by Jennifer Ikeda and Louise Moreno, who are fabulous. I really like Jennifer Ikeda, and the more I listen to her book to book, the more impressed I am with her. She's just really good at voices, accents, and not just that. I mean, doing an accent well isn't what makes you a great narrator. It's being able to do that accent well while maintaining the integrity of the character as you voice them. And she's just really good at that. Louise Moreno was really good also. So it was dual POV, Elisa, who is the main character, and sometimes you had the guy, I forget his name. Elisa, the main character, starts out in the very first book, The Girl of Fire and Thorns, as a spoiled little brat of a princess. She's not confident, she is timid and scared and isn't capable of anything. And so by the end of the first book, she becomes more capable. The second book I didn't care so much for, but this third book I think was one of the best endings to a series that I've read in a while. I was really impressed because a lot goes on. There's a lot of magic that's happening and there's a lot of war and a lot of characters, but a lot of traveling over long distances in various climates. And in the end, Elisa becomes a queen who is very mature and capable, and she begins to view herself as a woman with great strengths instead of flaws. And the things that she thought were flaws in the past, she just embraces them and says, this is who I am and I'm just going to own it and deal with it and be confident about it. And she does. And so I liked it. I thought that was a great example to girls. And so girls should read that series. It's really good. Good example of a main character. And I gave it 4 stars. The Rest of Us Still Live Here. This is by Patrick Ness. And I have this print copy, but I listened to it on audio. It's narrated by James Foe. And this is described as a book about a group of kids, high school kids, who live in a town where they're the normal kids, but everybody around them is like a superhero or has some magical ability or something like that. And I don't think that that's a good way to put it. I think that that's kind of misleading. The book is really about that group of kids, but they're just regular kids trying to get through high school. And there's not really any big deal thing going on with the magic stuff. That's like a little blurb at the beginning of every chapter. So you have a little kind of a storyline going on there, but it's not integrated into the rest of the stories. It wasn't about what I thought it was going to be about, but it was still good. It's Patrick Ness, and although it's not my favorite of his, it was still good. It's good YA fiction, so I gave it 4 stars. I finally finished The Star Dwellers by David Estes. This is narrated on audio by Julia Whalen and Will Dameron, and it was really good. This is a great YA dystopian series, and I'm glad that I'm listening to it because I think it's a completely different book on audio than it was in print. I had a hard time getting into it in print, but it's good. Like I say, it's a dystopian set on an earth where the surface of the earth is uninhabitable. So everybody lives on a realm under it. And the realms are the sun realm, the star realm, and the moon realm. And Estes is really good at developing a lot of likable characters in interesting situations that it doesn't feel like a repeat of the standard Divergent or Hunger Games or any of those things. It feels fresh. So yeah, I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars and I immediately jumped into The Sun Dwellers, which is the last book in that series. Out Celeste by Jessica Park. This is narrated on audio by Tavia Gilbert. I go hot and cold on Tavia Gilbert. Sometimes I think she sounds a little too intense for the things that she's narrating it, but this was perfect. She was perfect for this book. This is all about Celeste, who is a girl who has Asperger's syndrome, but she doesn't want to identify or label herself as that. But she has a lot of quirks about herself that she knows, and she has a lot of trouble with social situations. And so she's a senior in high school, very intelligent, probably going to get into an Ivy League school. She lives in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and she is scared to death because she doesn't know how to effectively handle social situations. She doesn't have a lot of friends. And so it's kind of the story about how she comes out of her shell. And she begins to learn that she can cope with social situations. And maybe she doesn't want to go to an Ivy League school after all. And there's a little side story going on with the characters from the first books in this series, which is Flat Out Love and then Flat Out Matt. That's a novella. And you kind of have a little thing going on there. And so it was kind of nice to have those characters that I already knew from the previous books. And I just loved it. This was a delightful story. A really wonderful character and a little more depth than I'm used to reading from this kind of a YA book. So yeah, I liked it a lot. I gave it 4 stars. And lastly, Illuminae. This is by Kristoff and Amie Kaufman, and everybody's talking about it, and they're all right. It was a 5-star book for me. This is an amazing book. It's a great sci-fi story, and it's got a lot going on, and it's gripping, and there's a lot of good tension in it because you're kind of on the edge of your seat for a lot of it, and you have great characters. It moves along really quickly. And so you have that great story going on, and then you have it wrapped up in this book. This book, I think this is a nicer book than the paperbacks, because you've got this cover, and then when you take this off, you can tell it's transparent. And this is the actual cover of the book. And you have a lot of this kind of classified, censored, that kind of thing going on. And then you have the book. The book is put together like a dossier of an incident, like an incident report. And you can see that a lot of the pages are different colors. You have everything told in text messages and emails and reports of like observations somebody made from camera footage. A lot of really creative things have been done in here to kind of communicate to you what's happening. One of the things that I really liked was the way that they communicate death. There's this outpost on a planet that gets attacked, and they take like 6 pages to give you a list of the casualties. And then, just to kind of drive it home, they give you a couple of pages of these. And these are just the photographs of all the people that died or were injured. And then you get these, just a lot of great stuff. You get ship schematics. You get, like this. You get imagery from when the AI on the ship is talking. You always have a black page with white writing when the AI is talking. And then you have a lot of just really cool stuff where you've got like visual representations of what's happening. Like this, which is a kind of trajectory of a dogfight that's happening between 2 ships. So it's just full of all kinds of stuff like that. And it's a great story with a really great ending. Lots of fun plot twists and really a great one at the end. So like I say, 5 stars. I was so impatient to get my hands on this book, and then when I did, I blew through it. And it's like 600 pages, but it's so good. Yeah, if you haven't read this, pick it up. You'll be glad you did. It's just really good. I've also been told that it's really a great book on audio too, and I have it on audio, but I didn't listen to it because of all, the way that it's put together. The actual print book is so creatively done that I knew I was going to want to own it no matter whether I listened to it or not. So anyway, I did. So I have that one. This weekend, I'm listening to Winter by Marissa Meyer. This is book 4, the last book in the Lunar Chronicles. It's a big book, and I'm about halfway through it. The gang is all there. All the cast of characters is all present and accounted for. You have Little Red Riding Hood and Cinderella and Snow White and who else? An AI and you Evil Queen and the whole thing. We've got all of the Huntsman. He's there, so it's just really fun. It moves along really quickly. So it's a big book, but you know it, man, it just flies by. So that'll probably take me the rest of the weekend, which will be nice because I have a Christmas tree to decorate this weekend. And I think I'm going to put together a video. Of course, now that I say it, I'm committing to it, aren't I? To make something called Honey Joys and Chocolate Crackles. These are two Australian treats that kids often have at birthday parties that I didn't know about and I'd never heard of, and I thought, oh, those sound good. So I got the stuff and I think I'm going to try them. So hopefully I'll be able to make a video, and yeah, that'll be kind of something different. So anyway, that's my weekend. What are you reading this weekend? You know I always want to know. Let's talk about it in comments, and that's it for now from me. I will see you next time. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.
When I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my walk. You're gonna miss me by my taco. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone.